And so, if you can clear your mind and you just sort of let, this is the way I taste wine too, is I clear my mind, I smell, and I just let things, I just let things like memories come up. And I'm really experiencing these aromas and smells. I can see, I can taste, I can touch and feel, you know, and the more you smell and the more you purposefully like try to remember what a gardenia smells like, or the more you're building those pathways.
And this is the one that gets the most prestige and is the most sought after. You pretty much have to pre-order or line up for this tea every year.
It reminded me of sitting on the beach and smelling the kelp and the sea breeze, kind of wet stones. And I got, as far as fruit goes, I got a hint of apricot or some stone fruit.
I'm gonna make 2 bowls. If you guys are not friends, then we'll.
Again, to me, the freshest tea, the grassiest one that we've had thus far, and perhaps one of the grassiest teas I've ever had. But the pumpkin comment really makes sense to me. Just, again, that fruity but not fruity somehow. Hard to explain, but that's a perfect way to put it.
The image that popped into my head was like the dream of a marshmallow, and I thought, so this was the
If
empty
a
cup
marshmallow
after.
can dream.
Like there was something about a very puffy, light texture that was really rich and aromatic, and I thought if this was like my dream of the perfect marshmallow, if it had this flavor and aroma, like there was something about that.
Yeah, I was just saying that it has no corners and no edges. It's kind of like a fog. It's very evenly used.
Wine is something that all chefs are trained for. But tea is an Asian beverage, predominantly. So your Italian, your French chefs are not going to be knowledgeable about tea. Chardonnay color.
So it's all in there, and it's really interesting, and it's open for interpretation, but it's a pretty wide range of aromas and flavors.
Actually, it's a lot sweeter.
For me, it was very much hay on the first nose. So I expected it to be a lot more fresh and kind of fruity or something along those lines. But again, not knowing these teas, it's interesting to see between what I'm expecting to taste and smell versus what I actually do. And I thought the hay was very pretty, and I agreed that would be a very nice palate cleanser because it's so sort of pure and very soft and delicate. Simple in a way, but complex at the same time.
When you've been tasting wine, have you been able to, like, has your palate and your sensory apparatus been refined such that when you're tasting the wine, you're like, this reminds me of a Wu Yi mountain, like, or a Phoenix mountain, like.
I can't say that I've pulled something out. Actually, you know what? There have been a few times where I tasted a Slovakian Cabernet Franc that smelled like a well-aged Pu-erh tea.
And, I really liked it. The palate was fresh with kind of apricot notes and kind of more bright white peaches, but much more on the palate. There's good viscosity and kind of very interesting balance between sweetness to sourness with saltiness that I really liked in the mouth. And really impressive palate for it. And definitely very refreshing. I agree totally with the cleaning the palate between the beans. Very silky with pretty impressive texture for such a light kind of tea. And kind of hint of earthiness in the end, which I really, really like.